On July 7, 2024, in Andhra Pradesh's capital, a family residing in Much Marri village, their 8-year-old daughter, who was studying in the 3rd grade, went to play with her friends in a nearby park. It was around 5 p.m., and as the evening passed, she still had not returned home. As time continued to pass, her parents became increasingly worried and decided to go to the park to look for her. However, upon arrival, their daughter was nowhere to be found. They inquired with people nearby and other children playing in the park, but nobody had seen her or knew of her whereabouts. Panic set in, and they began to search the surrounding areas for her, but as the sun began to set, a sense of dread settled over them. After a lengthy search, they, along with other family members and neighborhood residents, went to the local police station to file a missing person report. Given that the case involved a young child, the police immediately launched a search operation, focusing their efforts on the areas surrounding the home and the park. In cases of missing minors, time is a crucial factor. Consequently, the girl's family and other villagers also joined in the search effort. But despite everyone's efforts, no clues or witnesses surfaced. By July 10th, 2024, more than 2 days had passed. Yet despite pushing their human capacities to the limit, no leads had emerged. At this point, a dog squad was called in, marking a turning point in the case. The sniffer dogs in the squad are specially trained to detect and trace human scents. The police asked the girl's family for a piece of her clothing to allow the dogs to familiarize themselves with her scent. Generally, sniffer dogs can locate missing individuals within a few hours to a few days, although various factors can impact this, including temperature, wind speed, and the specific weather conditions in the area. For example, if the weather is particularly hot, human scents tend to dissipate quickly or rise too high from the ground due to the heat, making it more challenging for the dogs to detect. Fortunately, although the climate in that region is typically hot, the monsoon season had introduced humidity into the air, aiding the dogs in picking up the girl's scent faster. The sniffer dog quickly caught her scent, and the handler began to trace the trail alongside the police team. Within a few hours, the search covered most of the village area, leaving only a small section unexamined. The dog detected the strongest concentration of her scent in this remaining area. The police cordoned off this area and continued the search with the dog and its handler, accompanied by several villagers, as everyone was eager to bring the child back safely. Eventually, the sniffer dog stopped in front of a house, indicating that the girl might be inside. The police team knocked on the door, but upon searching the house, they didn't find the child, but rather a 12-year-old boy was found who was studying in the 6th grade at the same school as the missing girl, and the house belonged to him. The police and villagers were astonished, as anyone would be, to see such a gathering of people at their doorstep. However, it became clear that a sniffer dog had led them there for a reason, and this could not be a mere coincidence. The police had a growing suspicion that something was amiss, especially when they noticed a change in the boy's body language upon seeing them. When the police began questioning him about the girl, he attempted to act ignorant, but being just a child, he ultimately cracked under pressure. What he revealed was a shocking tale that suffocated faith and humanity. On the evening of July 7th, 2024, in a park in Much Marri village, the girl was playing with her friends when 3 boys from her school took notice of her. 2 of them were 12 years old and in the 6th grade, while the 3rd was 13 and in the 7th grade. The girl, in the 3rd grade, recognized them, as it was a small village with only one school. The 3 boys exploited this familiarity, inviting her to play hide and seek. Little did she know that the boys she viewed as older brothers were actually predators. They lured her to a deserted area near the Much Marri irrigation project pump house under the pretense of playing, and one by one, they assaulted her. To keep her from screaming, they gagged her. Once they had committed their heinous act, they feared she would tell her family, leading them to believe that killing her was the only solution. Due to heavy rains, the water level in the canal was quite high, so they murdered her and disposed of her body in the canal, which connects to the Krishna River. This entire confession came from the 12-year-old boy, whose house the police had visited, and he subsequently identified the other 2 boys involved. Currently, all 3 have been arrested, but since they are minors, it's uncertain what punishment they will face. They might be sent to a juvenile detention center, as there are no harsh punishment laws for their age group. However, a family has lost their daughter, and her siblings are in deep distress, likely unable to comprehend what their sister has gone through. As of July 11th, 2024, the girl's body has still not been recovered. The swift current in the canal and the passage of several days have reduced the chances of finding her. SP Ragveer Reddy has deployed 5 police teams, along with expert divers from the SDRF and NDRF, to search for her body. The police revealed that these 3 boys were so cunning that they did not alter their routine at all, continuing to visit the park and the crime scene daily as if nothing had happened. The girl's family and villagers have taken to the streets, demanding justice. If age is not considered in committing crimes, then why should it be when it comes to punishment? These boys, aged 12 and 13, have left me at a loss for words to describe their actions. Terms like monster, beast, and predator seem too mild. This case raises a critical question. Why are so many minors committing such heinous crimes? According to the Juvenile Justice Act of 2015, offenders aged 16 to 18 can be tried as adults. But in this instance, the crime was committed by 12 and 13-year-olds. How many amendments will we continue to make, and how much lower will the age limit for punishment go? Can we resolve these problems this way? In 2018, the Bharatpur case involved a girl who was similarly victimized, and the blame fell on her 14-year-old cousin. His father pointed fingers at vulgar video clips found on his phone. In 2018, there were similar cases. In India Nagaon district, 2 of the 3 culprits were minors, aged 11 and 12, and 1 was even related to the victim. There are numerous cases like these, and their frequency continues to rise every year. As for the reasons behind them, people point to various factors, each valid in its own right. The minds of young children are like soft clay that can be molded into any shape. These cases not only question the actions of these boys, but also put society itself on trial, as we are all responsible in some way. With unsupervised access to social media, the internet, and mobile phones, children today encounter information and content that exposes them to concepts they aren't ready for, leading to premature pseudosexual maturity on a mental level. Despite this, sex education remains a taboo, while sexual content on social media and the internet is abundant. A significant consumer base of this content is young children. Scientific research has proven that juveniles lack the ability to judge the future consequences of their actions, as their capacity to do so isn't yet developed. The problem escalates when we focus only on blaming various factors rather than seeking solutions. This approach is flawed, as we cannot define all juvenile offenders by a single profile. They come from every age group, economic background, intelligence level, caste, and religion. It's frightening to imagine how we can prevent this new generation from sinking into such a quagmire.